Friends, I am Professor P. Keshava Kumar from Department of Philosophy, University of Delhi. Today I will speak on the topic Philosophy of Technology, Concerns and Challenges. As you all know, human life has evolved through technology. Technology unveils, transforms, and controls the world, often designing and creating new realities in the process. Technology played a remarkable role in transforming our society from food gathering to information society. Technology has not only facilitated the progress and development but also stratified the society. It is not a value neutral. Along with this technology, it also brings out certain problems for the humanity as well. We have traveled from food gathering society to the feudal society to the industrial to the information society. Today we are living in information society. The major difference, you know it very well, unlike the missions of the earlier industrialism, which multiplied the muscle power, computers can be programmed to perform functions associated with the mind power. The today's society is characterized in a different ways by the thinkers of different concerns. The scholars, people like Daniel Bell, identified the society as a post-industrial society, the information society as a post-industrial society. He argues that dramatic shift is taking place from production to service-oriented economy, in which information and computers plays a major role. And somebody said John Baudrillard said it is a postmodern society. After modernity, the postmodern society, it is marked as a postmodern society. Immanuel Kant is a sociologist and philosopher. He identified it as a network society. And the scholar in philosophy of information, Luciana Floridi, he said it is a infosphere. At the same time, you know it very well, one of the features of the society is marked by the David Lyon. He said it is a surveillance society. The kind of information society where we are living, it leads to some kind of surveillance of the people, and that way it is also one kind of authoritative, and where it is encroaching to the private life of the human society also, human beings also. The interesting marker which can be seen with the characterization of the present society, it is post-human society. We thought that post-human society doesn't mean that it is minusing the human beings, after the human beings. It is human plus, along with human beings, the technology. We are living with technology plus human beings and all. The Catherine Heil, 20 years back, she wrote a book, How We Become Post-Human. The post-humans regard their own being as embedded in extended technological world. This is also sometimes humanism is also sometimes called as a transhumanism. The transhumanism can be seen as a stance that affirms the radical transformation of human biological capacities and social conditions by means of technologies. The post-human is a new biological species, a cybernetic organism, or even a digital disembodied entity. It is a person or entity that exists in a state beyond human. The scientific advances in genetics, neurosciences, artificial intelligence signal the end of our traditional concept of human beings. As you know, not only change the conception of human beings, but also it is the blurred the binaries we constructed so far in a modern society, such as nature, culture, man, woman, subject, object, human, animal, body, mind, which are deeply rooted in the philosophical traditions and which is, this was challenged by the post-human thinkers. It, it perverts society's binary opposition between human and non-human, natural and unnatural, animate and inanimate, man and woman. That's what it is very difficult to understand the post-human society. It is totally different kind of situation. You have to live with the technology, at the same time how to negotiate with the technology, that is also very much important. And it is, anyway, let me go to the other aspects. The changes in our society, it is caricatured by the major changes or major stages in our technological world or technological change, characterized by the Marx Wartowski in a paper, Technology, Power and Truth, Political and Epistemological Reflections on the Fourth Revolution. He named it as a Fourth Revolution. This is it is a one kind of seminar paper, is presented in the in celebration of the, it is 200 years of the French Revolution. There he makes a point that one, how the technology from the is we can identify the different stages in the technology. As you know, the first stage in human society, the transition from the biology to the culture, as I told, the food gathering to the it is human societies, the where a section of individual, the from animal to human life, and it is of course the longest revolution, and it is also called as a something a Promethean revolution, the where the human intellect it is got not only human beings are not only asserted themselves and also slowly there are also transformation. Earlier he lived with the nature and slowly started asserting such kind of situation we can see with the what is available, the tools is of maybe primitive tools, but there he tried to assert himself and by there he asserting his rationality, and that's what we can see this. And the second stage of the second revolution is something like that. It is one we can say this thing industrial revolution. It is a complex transition from hand tool to mission, that is the tool that elaborate a process of production or a sequence of actions of hand tool use. And there the it is something like that. It is a tool become a, earlier it is a hand tool, it is also it is now it is in place of that one. Missions played an important role. Missions essentially device for embodying or objectifying human skilled action in a material design which performs an effective initiation of or substitution for that action by itself, can be repeat the same performance many times. That way it can be it is much more efficient compared to the earlier kind of the tools which are used by the human beings and all. The mission revolution is profound, not alone in transformation and productivization of the hard work as bodily skills, but in the transformation of the cognitive mode. It is also changed how you look at the world. It is the very basic norms and structures of knowledge, both in understanding of nature and in human self-understanding. It is also totally changed the way it is not only is always in the mood to conquer the world, where we can see the idea of the modernity. It is also came with this, is the where the man came to be the all anthropocentric views and also man-centeredness and he believes that thing it is a nature is available for him. His ultimate aim is to conquer the nature, knowing the secrets of the nature, such a level, how it leads to the kind of production, it very well and all. And also it may lead to the market also, the industrial revolution along with the market, and it is also comes with some kind of changing in social structure and value system and political transformation also we have seen. And if you look at the third revolution, the third revolution, it is something like that. It is use of computing machines. It is there. The earlier, which are the calculating machines, the use of calculation or computing machines in conformity with other machines as a means of control of the mission process automatically. In short, the revolution comes with automated production by means of information and control devices, at first mechanical and then electronic. Now the electronic case, it very well. It is the same thing in place of the machines. Now it is automation and also much more electronic control. When electronic connection replaces the mechanical one, and the kind of changes, it is rapid changes of transforming and in administrative systems and also political systems, what kind of changes you can see this thing. The mission has now become electronically controlled. Human design now embodies the administrative and operative functions in a program of instructions in an objectified rationality capable of operating by itself once it's switched on, so to speak. That level we can see that kind of the changes. Now earlier it is the hand tools, second stage we can see the machines, third stage it is electronic kind of control, and then it comes to the today's continuity of that kind of situation. We thought that we end up with only the information society with the computer revolution like that, but one more stage it is identified by this man. He tried to say this thing, the fourth revolution. Fourth revolution means it is somewhat continuation of the earlier revolution, all the three revolutions, and but at the same time it is something like that. It is nothing beyond the third revolution occurs here. Rather, it is both the quantitative and the qualitative feature of the third revolution as it develops in its least stages that generates the fourth revolution as a revolution not in technology but in the relative role and place of technology in a broader context of the culture and politics. Now technology started organizing the society. Technology also using by the state for its own purpose. In technology used for the economic development, technology used for the militarization of the societies, technology used to the control of the human societies for the various reasons in the name of national security or in the name of war, whatever the reasons may try to provide. But mostly the technology oriented towards the direction. That is the fourth revolution, where the conditions which politicize technology as a central question of the national policy, the national economy, and international competition. The measure of fourth revolution's dominance in the degree to which the technology has become central to the economy, to the government policy, to the military, a life and death issue of international hegemony, of competitive edge of military superiority or inferiority. That level, fourth revolution is not just a dominance of it is just a dominance of technology in national, political, and economic life. That is there we have to look at the other dimensions of the technology, the way the technology introducing us to a situation. It is not only just remaining as a technology, which is as a product or as a for the market, or certain goods, for production of the goods in a large scale and a much more efficient way, but it is also reordering the society for the political interest or dominant interest. That's what we can see with the kind of technological society that today we reached. It is the problem. It is not confined to the one state. It is also is a national phenomena. The word international phenomena is a global phenomena. You know it very well. It is also the global capital and the state. It is working out one kind of the neoliberal policy, and the implications of the technology for the democratic societies are well known. I will come later to that point. These are the fourth revolutions. This is the stage we reach to the fourth revolution. That's why. Then let me come to the other aspects. Then let me differentiate. People also very often confused with the science and technology. Very often interchangeably they are using it. But one has to differentiate the science and technology. The science is a innovation of knowledge. You know it how knowledge is evolved by human beings struggles with the nature, knowledge is generated. Today we are claiming the property rights and also as if we only invented. Already it is a continuous process, and human beings, there is a lot of database. It is already provided by the unknown people. And later on, based on that one, you try to make something, yes, see that it is my own right, I only invented like that. Very often people used to make claims about that one. That is, we have to be, look it very critically about that aspect. When come to science as a innovation of the knowledge, technology is the application of knowledge. Suppose science is about the truth, technology is about the utility. Science, it is insight to know about the nature. The same insight, they want to use it, you want to apply it. The technology is about utility. Science seeks to know, and technology seeks to control. Technology is considered a sum of rational means employed in a society. In a simple statement, technology is considered a sum of rational means employed in a society. The rational understanding or insight, you are all bringing together and employed in a society. You are experimenting that kind of insights in our society. The technology, though science and technology share the same traditional thinking based on empirical observation and knowledge of natural causality, but technology is not concerned about the truth, but it is with usefulness. Then that is generally, you know it very well, science and the technology difference. You know, when come to talking about technology, it comes utility and also application of the science, and is also other level. It is also has the feature of the control also it is there, controlling the society also it is there. Then let me come to the point today. As I said, my topic is on philosophy of technology. Let me introduce what do you mean by the philosophy of technology. When the people started thinking about the philosophers has attended to this kind of problem of the technological society. Maybe philosopher, maybe they're talking about the grand issues such as what is reality, what is epistemology, what kind of ethical rules one should follow. These kind of things very often debated. But when reached today, it is reached to the specific stage, very peculiar stage which reached the technological society. The old age-old rules of philosophy, it is no more applies in a changed situation, and at the same time, it is created the not only mostly we are starting our discussion in the philosophy of technology with our ethical kind of concerns or about the moral dilemmas. But however, later people understood that one has to be, when the society totally transformed by the technology, then they thought of looking, there is a need to understand the technological society. Then let me say about what do you mean by the philosophy of technology. Philosophy of technology, it is a interdisciplinary academic field. It's mostly, one can see that thing, this kind of academic disciplines evolved in the 60s, late 60s. That means very young. It is mostly interdisciplinary kind of approach. Philosophy of technology is a critical, reflective examination of the nature of technology, the use of technology and the transformation of technology upon human activities, transformation of technologies upon human activities, and human activities upon the technologies. It is not only technology is influencing us, not only this is the interface of society and technology. Not only technology influencing us, we also equally influence the technology. That's what we try to look at the whole phenomenon, process of that one and all. The the philosophy of technology often reflection on the ethical dilemmas generated by the today we look at the mostly the kind of philosophy of technology debate to reach to the level of the it very well. It is people try to discuss in recent times about the information ethics and bioethics and ethics of biotechnology and ethics of nanotechnology. And then the situation, it is further demands a novel and creative theories of philosophy of technology in comparison with the earlier theories of technology. In comparison with the earlier theories of technology, where some debate it is initiated at the time of the late 60s, by reflecting on the late capitalist society or modern industrial societies, and that's where it is debate started, but is continued, and altogether now it is reached to the different kind of situation it is there. Similarly, the world tradition problems are not only new problems are arised, and the same kind of the traditional ethical theories are no way helpful to understand this kind of situation, and there it is one kind of gap it is there. One way, one kind of continuity is there, at the same time one kind of gap it is there in a understanding the technological society and all. Then the philosophy of technology, the kind of questions it is very often rises: can technological innovation contribute to human emancipation, or does it ultimately enslave us? Technology often justified their contribution for the improvement of human well-being, but what criteria do we measure the progress? Very often people try to say that it is the technology, it is very much important, it is contributing the improvement of the human well-being, but one has to see what do you mean by the well-being, what way it is contributing, what is the measure. Then other questions such as the technologies are value neutral. Is the technological imperative is to be questioned, are modern technologies, especially in the area of IT and genetic engineering, the expression of the Western values in the global economy, and indeed reinforces of the Western dominance. The kind of the cloning and the kind of artificial intelligence, other kind of genetic modification, it is the projects are going on. Ultimately, what kind of human beings want to produce? This kind of questions also it is there. Mostly the kind of prejudice will be there. The same prejudice that is reflecting in the technological experimentation, or even the genetic engineering, cloning, or other kinds of area, at the cost of marginalizing or negating the diversity, biodiversity, the society where we are having the privilege of having the differentiation and also different kind of traits of the human society so far we are enjoying and all. Then is the idea of appropriate technology philosophically illuminating one? What ethical issues are raised by the transfers of the technology from the rich country to the third world countries? The same kind of what kind of value system the developed nations, they want to expect that thing. The third world nations also has to follow such kind of things. There is also the kind of problems. It is how it is very often it is dumping the not only goods and the theories and the understanding of the developed nations. So the kind of by negating the heterogeneity, one kind of homogeneity they are expecting. That is also there is a serious problem it is there and all. Then let me come to the other aspects such as the technology. Of course, it is try to give people believe that yes, technology is important for the progress of the society or development of the society, and there is also both appreciation and critical about the nature and potential of the technology we can see very often. And we find diverse philosophical perspectives on technology. Then broadly, one kind of the people who are supporting for the technology, the one we have seen in relation to the transformation of the society, in relation to the political ideologies of the society, the political kind of value systems of society, the two kind of the world is also can be two economic models which is came into forefront. That one is that it is the Marxism and also capitalism. Capitalism, it is both of them, both capitalist mode of capitalist understanding are also the Marxist understanding emphasize on the importance of the technology. They believe that technology can be liberate human society by producing more, and the progress of society depend on that one by producing the wealth. The problem with the both of them sharing the same position, but they differ on one particular aspect where capitalism leads to the market and is also accumulation of the wealth and also is the private property. All these other things is also there. One kind of the control will be there on others. But where the Marxist kind of philosophy argues there is a need to be socialize the wealth. Wealth has to be generated. At the same time, it has to be socialized by abolishing the classes in a society, and also the Marxists find that technology as a means of liberation and argues for the socialization of the wealth and abolition of the classes, and they view the harmony between the man and nature against the alienation. How technology or the capitalist society brings the alienation, and they also argue for the restoration of the harmony between the man and nature. That is the where this kind of will come later, the political kind of issues and problems where it is located and where how to be what kind of implication it is there in understanding the technology. And let me see that thing when try to understand the technology. Then the two positions are very prominent positions are there. One is that technological determinism and other is that social construction theory. The technology today we also believe that technology is controlling everything is as we are believing that technology, the globalization inevitable, we can't be change the society like that. We used to people very often used to say. But like the same way, it is a technology determines everything. It can do anything. It determines everything. That's what people try to very far from being the innocent tool that can be used for both good and bad. Technology seems to be emerging as an independent life form, which human beings no longer control. And put in other way, not man, but technology in a reality autonomous. It follows the logic and knows only one course that laid down imperatively by the drive towards the maximum efficiency. That's what we can call the Jacques named it as this is a technological determinism. In technological determinism, there is no place for the normative assessment or democratic control of the technological innovation. Any attempt to resist of this process is doomed to failure from the start. What society can offer only one possible reaction to the unavoidable course of technological development, that is resignation, adjustment, and also abstention. That means withdrawal. We thought that we are giving the way for the technology, we become tools. We can't do anything, which is some kind of helpless situation. Then it is ultimately will come to the dialogue of let us adjust with the technology. That's what the one kind of, there's nothing like that evaluation, normative evaluation, and also the democratic kind of intervention will not be possible. That's kind of approach. One can say that technological determinism. But you know it very well. Technology can't be determine all the human life. And technology, of course, invented by the human beings, and also it is also it came into existence with the interest of the human beings, and further it is also technology got its meaning in a society where we are living. In fact, society shapes the technology rather than technology determining us. This is a very prominent opinion. Even I also suggest, I also believe that kind of approach. It is not the technological determination, and it is other level. It is the human society, the social construction theory. It is society shapes the technology. It is, in fact, technology came into the existence with the interest, larger interest of the society by different sections. It is not only technological people, engineers, and also government, and also people's interest, and it is social necessity makes them to be invent certain things. It is any kind of technology developed out of the social necessity. And as it is the pragmatic thinker, John Dewey believed that knowledge and society are socially situated. For him, the scientific theories and logic are tools used in certain social practices. So the success of technology depending upon its usefulness. Technological determinism has taken the comprise of two claims that technology develops autonomously. Technology determines the societal development to an important degree. These claims were seen as intellectually impoverished and also politically devastating, where social theory offers the new way of understanding the technology. They argue technology doesn't determine human actions, but that rather human actions shape the technology. The social construction theory argues that the ways a technology used cannot be understood without understanding how that technology is embedded in a social context. They argue that technological design was the outcome of negotiation between the several social groups rather than product of internal technical logic. This is there it is the difference between the two prominent approaches of the way to view at the technology. Let me come to the major aspect of by today's lecture, that is the perspectives in the philosophy of technology. How philosophically the people engaged with the development in the technology. The one important kind of discourse is happened, of course, in the Second World War time. That is it is 1930s, in prior to that Second World War. Heidegger is a phenomenologist. He made an important observation on the society where he is living, 1930s, where he identified this is the technology total, how it is changing the being, the very existence of the human being. And that way, technology in terms of the metaphysical level, he tried to understand the role of technology in the society where we are living and all. He discussed back in 1930s, Heidegger had already predicted that human beings would be relegated to a mere technical animal once he become the main source for the technological control. Heidegger claims that technology relentlessly overtaking us. Yes, he argued that under the reign of modern technology, reality manifests itself as a raw material for production and exploitation. Everything, whatever the resources is available, you want to use it. It is become a raw material, how to exploit, how to use it, such kind of approach it is. That our approach also totally changed. We are engaged, he argues, that in a transformation of the entire world, that means ourselves included, into a standing reserves, raw materials mobilized in a technical process. He seems to be saying that technology constitutes a new type of cultural system that restructures the entire social world as an object of control. Then he considers technology is not a simplification of artifacts, but an all-encompassing the worldview that revealing the world, encompassing the worldview, enframing the worldview. It is like that I talk about. Then the problem comes, if this is a situation, what to do? He is also puzzled with the kind of situation where he is living. He believes that thing, relieving from these needs is a new mode of revealing. Yes, definitely it is the one has to be relieved from this kind of situation, this kind of encompassing of the technological encompassing. Then, but he argued that thing, what he said this thing but he has no idea how revealing comes and go. In a popular statement of the Heidegger, he said Heidegger in his one of his interviews said, only God can save us from the juggernaut of progress. He's become a clueless. He knows very well how it is transforming, rapidly transforming, but he's a clueless how to overcome this kind of situation. He ultimately he came to the point that only God only can be save us from this situation. Then it is we can later further it is also the people not only reflecting this kind of situation, and also people started continuing the debate, even students such as Herbert Marcuse and his later Herbert Marcuse student, it is Andrew Feinberg. They continued the debate of they address the questions of the technological condition, and they try to provide the different kind of understanding of the technology. There is a need to be liberated from the technology, and where critical theory played an important role.